Okay, good afternoon, gents. Hope everyone is well. How you doing, what? Kev, how are you? Bearish day, it seems. Yeah, we had some news here. I've just been looking at my chart and it just goes. It seems to jump. I don't quite know why. Literally in one bar. If I open this right up, it goes from... We're sort of going up in a little bit, so 10.25, 10.58, 11.13, 11.20, and then it shoots up to 142. Seems to be stuck in that one bar forever. Strange. I don't quite know why. Perhaps no one was trading leading up to the news, and then obviously we had some news and it took a bit of a duck. So whether we're going to come back to the EMA and continue on down, it's hard to say. Hey Chris, how you doing? Stop Hunter, how are you? Yeah, see, sometimes when we have these drops, we recover quick, but we've come down a bit, a little bit of a pullback, so whether we're going to have a couple of legs and maybe some more, it's a bit hard to say because it almost looks like it's bottom in there, doesn't it? So I was looking at that one, but it's just quite bearish at the moment, so it looks like we've had 1, 2, 3 hits at that level and quite a strong push up, but look what's happening now. It never triggered, but it did tick below there, so it's a bit hard. I'm not sure what's going on, so it's just going to be a matter of sitting and waiting and seeing what happens. Market opens in about 4 minutes. Let's have a look. Yeah, I don't know whether it's coming down or whether it's going to push up or what. I got not a clue. There was a clear break in the channel. I would say it's an overshoot. Yeah, I mean, if you've drawn that channel from there to there, it's hard to say, really, isn't it? It sort of kind of looks like it fits, and then obviously we've had that, so it's hard to say. Trouble is bearish, and the news has sent it down. Doesn't necessarily mean it's going to push up, even though it's an overshoot. The overshoot's been caused by the news, so I really don't know. We're just going to have to sit and wait on this, but it has hit that level 3 times, and then we tick below it, so I just don't know whether it's going to continue down. Obviously, when we get the market officially opens in about 2.5 minutes, usually we get a little bit of a quick move, so hopefully that will give us more of a picture of where things are going to go. Hey Speedy, how you doing, buddy? So we're just going to have to sit and wait for a couple of minutes, and hopefully we'll get some sort of an indication of where things, also like a bottom or some. Yeah, it's clearly hitting. It doesn't mean it can't smash through it. It just means you just got to be cautious. So we touch there. We touched 3 times, although that never triggered, and we tick below. So I don't know. We could have sort of down. We could have a leg up, and then some more continuation down. But at the moment, it's just a bit unclear. Okay, excuse me just for 1 second. I'm just going to let my dog in. He's going to start whining otherwise. Okay, a bit of an odd day yesterday. There was some setups around, but I ended up about a point and a bit down, I think, in the end. I probably jumped into one trade that was, in fact, the one I got in and waited and it stopped me out. Mac actually took that one. It did go for 2, well, he marked it. It did go for 2 points, but as I was waiting for a few more, it eventually came back and got me. So, Hamza tried to draw from the second swing high. Excuse me. Yeah, I've tried a bunch of things. it still gives me an overshoot. It's possible. It's probably about the best we got, in all fairness. Okay, market opens in about 30 seconds. It's probably about the best we got. Good morning to you. How you doing? Yeah, I'm just a bit unsure at the moment. It certainly could be a bit of a two-tier channel, couldn't it? Trouble is, you just don't know where it's going to stop, do you? You don't know where it's going to stop, where it's going to turn. I mean, it looks bearish. If you'd have got in here, you just don't know whether it's going to trigger you and then have another leg up. Okay, market is officially open. That's the correct channel, yeah. You missed the breakout right after the log on yesterday. Hey, Clay, how you doing? Thanks. Best of luck to you, my friend, as well. You missed the breakout right after you logged off yesterday. Oh, did I really? That's the way it goes, isn't it, sometimes? Yeah, I ended up about... That's the first time I think I've been down for over a week. It wasn't by a lot. I think it was about $50. It was a point, I think, plus commissions, I think. But you know what? It's the one thing I've had problems with coming away after I'm down a little bit. So it was kind of a bit of a challenge for me, which is why I didn't trade on. I thought, I'm down now. Let's walk away. Because I keep having this problem with walking away when I'm down and trying not to come back and trade. And when I do, things usually don't go very well. The 3 hours I trade now usually work quite well. But then if I come back, it doesn't. It kind of doesn't. So the fact that I was down a little bit, I thought that might be a good reason to walk away and practice patience. And I never came back, so all good. Okay, possible. We got a leg up, a break and a new high, so possibly coming down. It's hard to say, really. I'm not it's slightly bearish, but not bearish enough. Let's see what happens. Maybe we get a lower high. Let's just bring that up a bit. Got a leg up. Yeah, the frustrating thing is the one trade I took yesterday went for a couple of points, but I wanted to hold on, and it came against me. So the next trade I only took 2 points, and it went up about 11. So I think I've got to make my mind up whether I go for more points or not. Okay, so we got a leg up, a little bit of a break, maybe a bit of sideways. Let's see what happens when we get to this level here. If we can bounce off this level here, I'm good for that. I mean, we have, if we touched here, yeah, actually. It's touched enough, really, I think, isn't it? Trouble is, where do you put that? Do you have that like that? In which case we had an overshoot. It's hard to say, really, isn't it? That could be the way. And then we've had a bit of an overshoot. Perhaps we are going to rock it up. Do you put it there, or do you put it there? That's the trouble, really. Just have to be a bit cautious here. Let's see what happens. So it looks like a leg and a leg. See, there is a possibility that is one channel. There's also a possibility that it's not. In fact, let's go with that in all fairness, because pretty much makes sense. Okay, so there is a possible short there. Trouble is, at the moment, it is just a little bit congested, so I think that's a little bit dangerous. Okay, we've touched a couple of times here. Let's see what happens. It may just go down now. Trouble is, a bit congested there, so a little bit of caution. I like the way that it is holding along that line, so that's positive. It can get a lower high here. It's so tempting just to jump in, isn't it? I mean, it's clearly holding there, but you just don't know whether it's going to trigger you, turn, stop above it, have a break. Did you reload? I didn't, mate, actually. Let's do that now. One's assuming Hamza, yours is different than mine, or vice versa. Okay, so let's see if that triggers there. So it may take out any possible stops there. It looks like it's going to. Yeah, quick little spike there. So I'm assuming there may have been a stop or two there. That's so annoys me when that happens. Let's have a look. Get rid. Okay, so actually that looks a bit different, doesn't it? That looks quite a bit different. No, forget that. Okay, so touch. That's a hell of a difference. Okay, so maybe that's the first break of it. So let's have a look. Let's see what happens. Yeah, so if he did take anything there, in all fairness, it was a bit congested, so it was just a bit too risky. So possible lower high. Is it a bit congested there, though? Let's have a look. It is in fairness, isn't it? No lower high, although the way it's reacting, it's probably likely going to break down here, isn't it? But unfortunately, just no setup. It actually fits a lot better that now I've reloaded that. So I wonder, I don't think it is, but I wonder whether, no, it's all right. I thought that might fit with this. We may be getting a little bit of sideways there. Yeah, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 touches there. Okay, that kind of looks right. So we got this leg down. Let's call that one attempt to go higher. If we can get something else up here that gives us something bearish, then maybe there's a short further down, a short going down, maybe to the bottom or below. Second entry short, is that tempting? Down, one attempt to go higher, second attempt to go higher. I actually don't mind that.
Order
Let's
submitted.
see how that finishes. Not as bearish as I'd like.
Order cancelled.
Okay, there's a fell second entry short there, which may trap that second entry. Sorry, fell second entry short, which might trap that. Let's see what happens here. Okay, failure. So we've got a new low. Try go on. So I go twice. Triggered. Possible short stop up here. A little bit higher might take it. Yeah, okay, I thought as much. So that worked for a couple of points, I think. I did look at it. I'm not a fan of picking tops and bottoms. I don't have a lot of luck with it. Okay, it hasn't made 2 points anyway. Let's just see if it does. We may, the way that's looking, get a push up. It's hard to say. Or it may be just a failed breakout, a leg and a leg. I think it might be a failed breakout. Yeah. So we got a leg down, made one attempt to go higher, a second attempt to go higher, fails, comes down. So let's see if that comes down any further. It's time to have a new low, maybe. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. We've had this channel down there. We've made one push higher, a second push higher, and it's failing. See if we can get a lower high here. Okay. Maybe it's going to carry on. Oh, doesn't look like anything's stopping it. Yeah, so we had this. This was the news, I think, the news there. Sometimes it's weird when you watch the news and we get like a negative reaction. A lot of the times then we recover really quickly. And other times we pull back, and we just continue down and down and down and down. So you never quite know what it's going to do. I suppose it. Obviously, I don't tend to follow the news as such. I'm aware of when it is, obviously, just to stay out of it. But I don't tend to follow what news it is, so to speak. So leg. Yeah, I'm just not sure about this. I thought that one might be coming down. It's quite a bearish bar there, and it might send it down. But in all fairness, we've had a push up, and it's come back, but not that far. So we may continue higher. Let's see how far. See if this gets any lower. But at the moment, what I'm seeing is this. So there is a possibility that we could start to push up a bit. See, we've got this channel down there. So if you're taking like the Penguin Guys trades, you'd say you've got a channel down there, made one attempt to go higher. There is 2 attempts to go higher. So perhaps that is about the most bearish bar we've seen. So, okay. I kind of like that then for coming down, I do. So I'd say now, based on what I'm seeing here, I think we're going to come down now. That's about the most bearish bar out of all this. So 1 leg up, 2 leg up. This is coming down for me. Unfortunately, we've got no, we haven't got a lower high or anything. Let's see if this stops and we get a little break above it. We may get a leg and a leg then, see. I'll just get out the bottom. See if we can get this to stop here. A small bar up there, just a trigger above and come down. We may get a leg and a leg. See if this pushes up. In fact, to be honest with you, I don't know how many times I say you got to just stay out of this, and I'm looking for a possible trade in it, really. Should be illegal. You're probably right. I think we're going to get a leg and a leg. It didn't trigger. I didn't like any possible entries, but I think we've had this breakout. So we had one leg up, two legs up. I think we're coming down now to at least the bottom, quite likely a lower high. But I'm not getting involved because it's clearly choppy and you just don't know. But this to me looks like we're going to get this one leg down with a pullback and another leg down for me. It's definitely down here for me, at least the bottom. But there's no real entry there, so I'm staying clear. Leg. So at least the bottom. I think it's quite likely, though, we're going to make a new low here. So one leg up, two legs up. I'll be surprised if the penguin guy doesn't take that. For 1-to-1, which would take him out or bring him out around about here, around about this midline, maybe just below it. Breakout, pullback. That one there, I wish I had it done. So we got this leg down. We tried to go up once, tried to go up twice. I don't class these little bits because they're fidgety. That's a clear push for me. And that's a clear push. So we tried 2 attempts to go higher. Nice big bearish bar. I did say that's probably the nicest bearish bar of all those. So if it's going to come down, that's the one that's going to take it. And it clearly did with 2 legs. But it's pulled back up, surprisingly. Once we started going, I'd have put money on that breaking a new low there. But it's clearly not, which tells me it's just a little bit unpredictable. And just choppy. So we just got a little bit extra cautious. So we got what? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 touches there along that line. And we've had 1, 2, 3 attempts to go lower, so that may indicate we're pushing up. I got no idea really, in all fairness. I think the sensible thing to do at the moment is to just stay out. It is tried 3 times to come down, but it's tried multiple times to go higher as well. So for me, it's just a little bit unclear and probably makes sense to just stay clear and exercise patience. So kind of a nice bearish bar there, but it's just one leg up for me. So same again, staying out. I'm not a fan of picking tops. I'm not very good at him, in all fairness. It's not one of my stronger points, so I tend to avoid them. And whenever I do avoid them, they do that, funnily enough. That one I looked at and clearly would have made the points. That one I looked at, but clearly would have made the points. But because I'm not very good at them, I tend to stay out. And whenever I do stay out, they just seem to drop. That's just my luck, I suppose. But it is more dangerous trading this. Fail second entry long at the range. Yeah. To be honest with you, it's not a very big range, so it just means there's a lot less room for error. What is it? 6 1/4 from top to bottom. So if you're taking, you know, if something's pulling in and you're taking it here, your 2 points are here. So it just makes it more difficult. I much prefer to wait for it to start to move off in a direction, and then hopefully, you know, find a suitable entry. This looks quite different, actually. Before I traded the changed the updated the historic data, it looks a lot more like a channel now, doesn't it? So yeah, because we sort of had this news, it was coming down anyway. So I really couldn't tell you what I think. Usually I've got an idea of where I think it's going to go, but at the moment, it could do anything. You know, I thought after those two legs we were coming down for sure, and then all of a sudden we turned, come straight back to the top again. So I got no idea. At some point, though, we've tried 3 times now to break this, you know, to come down, and it hasn't. So I'd say, who knows? Usually after a channel break anyway, you make a new low, but not always. I know sometimes I've been that focused on looking for a short and I've got in, and all of a sudden it'll just turn around and fire up and take out stops here, here, here. Let's face it, there's going to be stops there, thinking we're going to have another leg down. There'll definitely be stops there, possibly there. So if it does shoot up, it could do it with a little bit of speed. But I would say, personally, I think now we're coming down. It's just looking leg down, maybe 1-2 legs of correction. And sometimes it'll come back and retest before it eventually drops out the bottom. So I'm thinking bearish, actually. Just based on what I'm seeing here. You have to take that into consideration. But there is a lower high there. Trouble is you haven't got 2 points out for the bottom. And I'd really want to be out for the bottom, because the last couple of times it's come down here, it hasn't made it, and it hasn't there. So would that lower high have worked? I'll be surprised if that doesn't trigger that out. It'd be interesting to see if it triggers that bar, because that is a second entry long. It hasn't triggered yet. So the possible double trap here. You're in that trade now. If you took a lower high, you may get stopped out. But it may just turn now and come straight back down. Let's see. Yeah, it's clearly arranging. It's just not very clear, really. Safest thing to do is just to get, you know, is just to sit and wait patiently, because if you took that lower high thinking we've had 2 pushes, you're in that trade at the moment, but that's come very close to my stops. I think when that turned like that, I think I'd need a fresh change of underwear. Let's see, 1 minute looks like it's bearish, next minute bullish, next minute bearish. And that's the trouble with the range. It's just literally 1 bar up, 1 bar down, 1 bar up, 1 bar down. So if that hits below there, then it's down for me for sure there. Now, after that and that, if it turns back now, I've not got a clue. I think for sure now we're coming down. Certainly to break the lows anyway. I can't see it not breaking the lows there. There we go. So are we now going to retest this and then continue down? We may have a leg. So we've got a leg down, maybe 1-2 attempts to go higher. If we can retest this bottom, I think there's a good chance now of some more downward stuff. It's clearly bearish. There's no argument there. Let's see if this closes here and maybe triggers. And Q is trying to make new lows, but ES does not believe it or something. We have got a new low now anyway, so not by a huge amount. But for me, this is bearish now. I think we're going to drop out the bottom. At what time? Usually, because I'm UK time, so usually around about 5:30. So I tend to do 3 hours. So that would be what, 9:30, 10:30, 11:30. So about 12:30 Eastern time. Usually, I usually do about 3 hours, 3.5 hours. That's enough for me. Otherwise, I just get a bit careless. We're coming down here, I think. Unfortunately, well, we've pushed down. We've tried a few times to retest this bottom. So I'd say it's coming down. Unfortunately, there's no real setup for me. In fact, there was a failure there. Didn't notice that failure. Second entry long triggered, came back down. I had a feeling it was going to come down. Let's see if we can mark any type of a channel. Okay, I like that very much. Let's bring that down a bit. Okay, so touch a bunch of times there, touch there, touch there. I like that for a slightly larger channel. So let's just change that colour. So, and the good thing is as well, we've gone off right from the top to this first proper swing back, and it's touching lovely there, touches there, touches there. For me, we've got a leg, 2 legs of correction. I expected another leg down. We've got yesterday's lows there, so that may cause us a little bit of a stumbling block, but temporarily, I believe. So if we can get something here, we may get a nice position to get some lower there. So it does look to me like a leg down, a couple of legs of correction, another quick retest, and then when it hit that along there, well, you can see, can't you? So
order submitted.
see if we can get a lower high here. So try go once, try go twice, try go 3 times. It's only really a first entry that, so I'd like another little push up, maybe a lower high, and then hopefully we may get a decent push down. Fingers crossed. I'm done almost 6 hours. You're doing all right? Well, good for you, mate. If you've got the patience to do that, good for you. I used to do that sort of hours, but I found sometimes less is more with me. You're obviously a lot more patient than I am. So good for you. But at the end of the day, my honest opinion is it's all about chart time. So if you can spend 6 hours a day doing it, you're going to come on a lot quicker than most. Okay, there's a second entry short, stroke lower high there. Let's see how that works. I'd like it to come a bit higher, really. So we got one possible second entry short. Come on, get up a bit. That's a lower high. Trouble is, there's not much room to the lows there, and I think it's a bit risky. Although I do think it's going to drop. What do I do? Come back and get me. Have a little pullback. Come on.
Order filled.
Okay. I'm taking a bit more of a risk than I wanted to. 7, 8, 9. It's only 2.25 points. It's not terrible. Come on, I've had a drop. It's quite bearish, so I'm going to hold on to this. Against my better judgment, but I'm going to anyway. Come on, get in. So, lower high. And the trick is just to try not to care. Family position. It's a second entry short, stroke lower high. It's clearly off in this top there, so I think it's good. You entered right at the lows of the day. Well, if I think it's bearish enough, I don't mind doing it. Because what I can see here is a leg down, 2 legs of correction, and another leg down starting. So if it pushes down from here, I think I'm okay. But it is a risk, but I'm prepared to take it. I'm going to give it one extra tick. Sometimes it makes a difference. It may trigger that one and then turn. We'll see. Okay, I don't mind that. I don't mind getting in there. It's worth the risk, because if it does continue on down, I'll more than get my money back. So that was a lower high. Okay, see what happens. It's looking bearish for me, and it's just finding a decent push down, but I don't mind losing a couple of points. It's $125. See, I'm only on a contract, so I'm going to get rid of that a second. Remove. Yeah, I know what you're saying. We've just come away from here, see. That's why I kind of like it. We've had this dip down. It is a second entry short, and when it's bearish, a lot of the time, once it does break, it'll just come out. So the thing is, if you're going for a bit more points, you are going to take a little bit more losses, but what did it go down for? So it went down for about 1.5. It's reacted to that line again, see. Leg down, 2 attempts to go higher. Let's see. So down 1, 2, 3. That could be a triple test. Let's just get that ready.
Order submitted.
Triple test for me, that is. Come on. Second entry short, triple test. Come on. Come down, made 1, 2, 3 attempts to go higher. Bar was
Order
naff anyway,
cancelled.
so let's see what this one does. Possible second entry short. Let's see where this finishes. Let's just get an order ready just in case. So we've come down, made 1, 2, 3 attempts to go higher. Still not there.
Order cancelled.
Can I adjust that? Leg down, sideways. I still expect some more downward stuff. Let's say that's the only time I'm going to adjust it. Okay, we've had a little break now, so I'm going to put it back where it was, which was about there. I'm just about to do that, mate. So we've had a break out the bottom, and yeah, it is. So we've broken out the bottom. We've sort of had the opposite of this. Let's see how far we get off, or whether we do come down. Oh, we got a lower high here.
Order submitted. Order canceled.
Yeah, it is a bit choppy. I'm going to have to be a little bit careful here. Trouble is, when you reduce from 2 to 1 contracts, you're risking less. So sometimes you take slightly more aggressive trades. So does make you wonder whether you're actually better off or not. Leg down, 2 attempts to go higher. Mucking us about. Yeah, you're not wrong, Chris. I thought it was clear initially. We had a leg down, a couple of legs of correction, and then a leg. I mean, it still may work. Perhaps it's just having a couple of more attempts to go higher. I mean, we've had this leg down and a couple of correction, and it's still starting to go down. But trouble is, sometimes it's very predictable, and other times it just does random stuff. I wouldn't have expected that. See, 3 big bars right to the top. Would you believe it? 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 points straight up. Yeah, possibly. Doesn't usually reverse that quick, does it? Well, at the end of the day, this channel, we've made a new low. That's for certain, and we've only made a new low here, haven't we? And now we've. So yeah, perhaps it is. Does it look like it's bottoming? Yeah, I suppose you could say it is. So let's see if we come down and maybe retest the top of the channel. So yeah, maybe something like that. Possibly somewhere like that. Yeah, I don't know. Get a second entry long off here. Leg and a leg. Okay, so we've come down and we've bounced off the top. So yeah, I'd say possibly. Maybe looking at a reversal. Like to see a couple of legs up and then maybe a couple of legs of correction and then something else. No reason why it can't. Perhaps it is going to turn into a range day. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised at all. Let's pop that up there. See if we can adjust this bottom so it fits multiple times. Let's leave it there. So yeah, quite possibly a range day. You know, I was expecting it to come down, but after that, I'm not thinking short anymore. It's a failure on the 4,000 tick chart there. When it breaks above there. Okay, let's see, maybe a spike and channel. Max chart. Oh, that's early, isn't it? Let's have a look. So Mac did have the larger channel as well. Right from the top to there. So Mac had it from there, incorporating those tops, which was there, wasn't it? Would you believe it? Okay, we got a nice bullish bar right off the 1, 2, 3 touches there. Trouble is, you've not got much room to the highs, and it's a bit congested. And it could trigger you and come back down here. So, yeah, strange that. There's Mac's chart there. So he's got it. Sorry, he's got it right from the top there to there, and then obviously coming down there. So obviously we got no idea how he adjusts it. That's the trouble, really. It'd be nice to get one every hour, wouldn't it? Just a quick snapshot. Okay, so it did work up nice there. It was a comfortable, quite a few points there. I did look at that, but it's a bit congested and it's a bit away from the EMA, so you just don't know what it's going to do you? It is frustrating when you get sort of, what, 5, 10, 15, 20 point move quickly up. You close your long too. That's frustrating, isn't it? Trouble is, you just don't know at the time, do you? And your natural sort of caution just takes over. Trouble is, if you'd have gone the other way, then obviously you'd have done the right thing. So it's just one of those things, isn't it? There's not much you can do. See, we've got similar sort of pattern here. I don't know. You just don't know what it's going to do. In all fairness, it could continue right up there. It could start coming back down. You just don't know. we might pull back 50% of this, and then that's your luck. You know what I mean? So that's where we've been to. So we've got back 50% of that anyway. So it doesn't look to me like it's a finish going up. $1.2K in profit today, mostly one contract. Good for you. I've been up since 9 AM London time. Excellent. That's what you want. Okay, so we're still in this channel. Okay, maybe this is where we get a break. And maybe a slightly larger channel. Maybe a two-tiered channel, something like that. Let's see if we get a break down here or something. 4400 is a magnet up here. 4400. Okay. It's just nothing you can do here just at the moment because it could trigger you and then have a couple of legs down and have a wider channel. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a two-tiered channel going on there. Because that sort of would make sense, wouldn't it? There's the first tier, there's the second tier, big strong push up the second tier, so we could have two legs down to here, which is more or less where the EMA is going to be, and then continuation up, so that's a possibility. It's going a bit sideways, which is a good sign, which might mean we're going sideways to here, and then if we can catch another leg up, that should take us up to the highs. So if we take this leg from here and put that there and take another leg, let's say here, it takes us right up to the highs, so that kind of would make sense, wouldn't it? So let's just keep an eye on this. If we can get something here, ideally, if that is a two-tier channel, that, as far as I'm concerned, is working that top tier, so I'd like to get a little bit closer to here. One leg, two legs. Hey, Dr. Lenny, how you doing? You been hiding? So many things to trade, isn't there? I don't know, does one make a difference from the other? Who knows? From what I hear Max say, it doesn't really matter what you trade. If you trade in price action works on any chart. So it shouldn't make the difference whether you're trading oil or whatever, should it? Who knows? Okay, we hit there and bounce there, but for me, even a bullish bar there is just not quite good enough, because it could trigger it and come down a little bit lower. Excellent. Good for you, mate. Good for you. Anybody who does well in this business has got my respect, because I know how bloody tough it is. Okay, so we're going sideways, which is indicating to me this is a two-tier channel. So let's widen that to where I think it's probably going to go from. So somewhere around about there to there, and that kind of works. So I'm
order filled.
because I really like that now. And I think it's just going to go. It is a second entry long, so I think it's just worth taking. Second entry long, and it's working there, and it's working there. So for me, that's probably a good entry. So or am I completely misjudged this? One extra tick sometimes makes a difference. No, I've misjudged this. There's the one extra tick. See if it saved me now. Wow. Really not feeling this today. I'm down $275. Okay. Let's think. The next one needs to mean something. Otherwise, that's me done for the day. Leg. That stung. Fortunately, I'm on well, I'm down a total of 270. Leg. This is looking more promising.
Order submitted.
Okay, it doesn't look. Let's have a look. Hold back. That trade was £1,000. Okay. Leg. Hold on. Get rid of that minute.
Order filled.
This is risky, and if this doesn't work, I'm done for the day. I like the way it's come back there. It's trigger below and pushed up quite strong, so this is it for me. It's a nice solid bar, so I'm just going to go with that. I don't think that's possible, is it? No, it's not. Okay, that would work. If one leg, I just like it because it's one leg, two leg. I like that. One leg up, two legs up. Now I'm just going to hold on to this and see if I can get something decent out of it, because this is my best opportunity, I think, to get something back. So this would take us up to the highs. That's about as good as I think I can get there. Leg. I know it was a bit risky to jump in, but sometimes if you can just see something, you just got to do it, haven't you? So let's at least get break even. Leg. Probably going to get a bit of a pullback, but I'm all right with that. I'm going to put that back where it was, just in case it comes close to this. But there's nothing I can do now. I'm just going for this other leg, or I'm just going to get up close to this. So many times I take these trades and don't hold on, and they go. And yeah, you're going to probably take the odd trade that's not going to work. But if you just sit tight. Same yesterday. First trade I took, I held on, stopped me out. Second trade I took, I didn't hold on, and it went up for 11 points. Yeah, that's what I mean. Sometimes you just got to hold them, you, and just. Sometimes it's going to take. It's going to get you sometimes, but. Do you know what I've like yesterday? That first trade I took yesterday went for 2 points, and I held, and it took me out. Second trade, I got in. I thought I'll take 2 points. It was similar to this. I took 2 points, and it went up for 12. So it's just a bit frustrating, really, isn't it? I think you have to sometimes decide to just either hold or not hold, and just take what happens. And it is sort of what it is. Do you know what I mean? And sometimes it will come and get you. But you know, we got a leg up there sideways. First push up, second push up. I think it's quite feasible. We're going to get up to here. So, you know, if you just hold on, it can make all the difference. And yeah, it is possible it could come and get me. But you know, sometimes you've just got to go for it and either decide to hold or decide to wait. I think it probably is sensible to do now is at least just put it to break even. Because if it does come back there, chances are it may come back and get me. So at least put it to break even. So at least that's frustrating, isn't it? But well, what can you do? Let's put it back. Leg and a leg. We might be safe. See, 7, 8 times out of 10, that'll come back to there and push up for, you know what I mean? It's frustrating, isn't it? It is frustrating, but what can you do? Okay, I'm going to put that there. If that comes down any lower there, it's going to take me for sure, so I might as well save myself a few ticks. It is frustrating when it goes up and then comes back to, you know, more or less where I was. But what do you do? Sometimes you've just got to either hold on. But we've got a leg up sideways, and you think that's going to get up to here, surely, don't you? Okay, let's put that to there. I'm not prepared to take anything less now. Let's see how that finishes. No, I'm going to have to get out of this. It just doesn't make sense.
Target filled.
Okay, out for break even. So it's just one of those things, isn't it? It may go up, but I've got to just do what I've got to do. It's not worth losing on it because obviously it went up a few $100, but next time. But a leg up like that, a loader sideways, a strong push up like that, you think 2 legs and then another leg up, don't you? But it's just one of those things, isn't it? Let's have a look. Okay, I'm not going to bother market. Took me out for break even, so. Flush right after. Yeah, sometimes you just got to, after it's doing that now, it's just not worth it. Get out for break even. At least you haven't lost anything, have you? In all fairness, that could have gone up for another leg. So where did I get in there? I mean, it could have made me, did I get in about here, didn't I? I mean, it could have made me a nice 10 points on one contract. Even if it had got me to there, $500-600. So it's worth it, isn't it? I think. Holding on. It looks like it's going to continue offer. What can you do? 1 minute it looks bullish, next minute bearish. Break new high. Maybe we are coming down again. There is a possibility of something like that. Don't you worry about your type of trade chewing through your trailing drawdown. So that went up $300 there, which is not a lot to be fair. And if I get another trade, that'll eat that back. It doesn't move again until I get back to where I was. So not really, no.
Order filled.
Not really. I like that. I'm trading a bit careless today, to be fair. I think I'm going to finish after this trade. I do wonder whether, because I trade one contract now instead of two, whether I take riskier trades. I'm just wondering whether to go back to two contracts, in all fairness. Sideways bearish bar, 2 touches here, 1 touch there. Okay, let's at least get something out of this. Let's put that there. I'm hoping that's going to get, that short's going to get taken out, but I might as well get something out of it. Hopefully we'll get a push up now. So if I make 300 back now, it's taken back that. We might get a bit of a push after that. Excuse me a sec.
Stop filled.
Sorry about that. Just thought I walked in. Okay. It may continue up now, but I'll let that 300 go. I'm not letting this 300 go. So, what did I get there? 5.5. 5.5. Is that right? 5.5 points. Yeah. Okay. May go up a bit higher, but sometimes you got to do it. Yeah. Do you know what it is? I think I'm trading a bit more carelessly because I'm on one contract instead of two. Up, sideways, new high, sideways. Yeah. I don't know what to do, see. I'm definitely... Am I trading more carelessly? I think I am. Because I know I'm not risking as much. I don't know whether it's going to be more... Is it going to go against me more? I don't know. Give me your opinions. What do you think I should do? It's a $50,000 account. I've always traded two contracts. My issue isn't, I don't think my contract size, my issue is coming back later after a loss. And if you come back in revenge trade, I revenge trade on 5 and 10 contracts. It doesn't really matter to me whether I'm on 1 or 2 contracts. So I'm just wondering whether I should just go back to 2 contracts. Because you just need to respect. Yeah, I do work, don't I? It's a PA. Yeah, it's a PA account. See, having said that, if that would have pushed up like I think, it would have given me a nice amount of points until you sort out your bad behaviour still on 1. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I mean, if I am trading a bit carelessly, at least I'm not going to do myself damage. Okay, so I'm $15 down now. So I'm more or less back to where I was. The thing I liked about that, we'd had a push up, we went sideways, we had a big bearish bar which triggered and pushed, and I came in there. So for me, I'm waiting for something like this. I'm happy to trade 1 contract on my 10. Yeah, I don't care if it takes me. Yeah, okay, that makes sense, doesn't it? The thing is, if you're if 50,000 doesn't mean nothing. You're basically trading with $2,500 because that's what you've got to lose. So if you're trading 1 contract on $2,500, when you get up to $5,000 in your pay account, you could then go up to $2,000. So you can scale as you move up. If PA treats us, yeah, absolutely, 3% risk after trade micros. Well, I think I'm trading 5%. So if my average loss on here. At the moment, so it's just under 2. So my average loss will be $250 on 2 contracts. So say 125. So 10% would be $250. 1% would be $125, which is what it is now. So I'm risking 5% basically. Trade pushes past 5 points. Stop up. Yeah, if it goes for 10. Oh, there we go again. Yeah, you're right, Chris. 2 bad trades. It's hard not to go on tilt. 2 bad trades here. It's going to set me back $250, $300 maximum. it's not that scary, is it, in all fairness? If a trade pushes past 4 points, move your stop up. Yeah, agreed. Even if it goes for 10, 5 points, so a lot more. Cover 2 losses. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I agree. Let's stick with the 1. Like I say, 5%. Really, you got to lose 20 trades in a row. Are you likely going to lose 20 trades in a row? It's doubtful. I know I can trade careless sometimes, but my trading is not bad enough to lose 20 trades in a row. At the end of the day, if I'm blowing a count because I'm just taking too much risk, I might as well just stick to the 1 and just let it build. If I can't make it work on 1, I'm kind of kidding myself. So I was waiting for something like that to hit an area. So when it went sideways, we had that bearish bar which triggered, pushed up, and that started to move. That's where did I jump in? It was right at the top somewhere. Yeah, it was right at the top there. For me, that was the one that was going to push up. So sometimes I know it might not be pat, but sometimes you just think, I just know what's going on here. I did there, in all fairness, and it went up for 6 points. But sometimes it'll just, come back. But the way I had that there, leg up, 2 legs back, so many times it'll come back for a pullback and continue on and make a full leg, which is why I decided to hold there. So at the end of the day, I got out for break even, so I didn't lose anything, but I could have potentially had 11 points. So I think it was still, sometimes, you're going to hold and it's going to take you out for break even. Other times, but I got out for break even, so I wasn't risking anything there, but with the potential of making 11 points. So if you can take a risk and possibly make 11 points and not risk anything, it's sort of worth doing it, isn't it? It's slow with 1 contract, but slow might be better for us who do not have anything under control. Yes, you're right, Sam. How you doing? Let's see if we can get back down to here now. But, yeah. I don't know. How do you feel, Sam? Do you think you take slightly more aggressive trades now you're trading 1 contract instead of 2? I took that after it pushed up. I took that one as well, 1 leg, 2 leg back, and I held thinking we got the leg up, 2 legs of correction, and then another leg up. I was expecting to come up to here. I'd have been happy here. I mean, even if I'd have got out at the top here and not here, if you got out here, there's a possible 18 points, but I'd have been happy getting out at these tops here, which is 11 points, so possible second entry long. I think I'll wait for the higher low. Feel okay at the moment. I felt at the start didn't feel much to lose, only $100, yeah, and seeing the account build now, so sticking with it, yeah. It is surprising how quick it'll build, really, The trouble is, what's the alternative? You stick to contracts, you're risking too much, and the stress gets to you, and you end up blowing the account. So if you spend the next 6 months blowing accounts, you might as well spend that 6 months with a PA account, just the 1, and trading 1 contract. What are you got to lose? One PA. But I think it's all about using the one account just to try and install discipline and grow an account. If you can genuinely do that, then you've proved you can do it. I mean, we can all, what's your plan to scale up from 1 PA? What I'd like to do first is to aim to build up to about $5,000. If I can do that, technically you could go up to 2. But what I'd probably do is I don't know, maybe say, okay, I'll go up to 2 if it drops down to 4,000. If I can get to 5,000 and go up to 2 contracts, if it then drops down to 4, then I'll go back down to 1. So I've got myself $1,000 buffer there. So I've got to lose, 1, 2, 3. I've got to lose 3.5 to 4 trades in a row. But I may then be able to pull away a little bit better. But I'd say one thing I thought, Sam, as well, by holding there and getting 5.5 points, if I'd have been trading 2 contracts, I might have been inclined to get out for a couple of $100 when I've more or less made the same anyway. You plan to take profits around about 3,000. Yeah, I've done that. I've had, what have I had? 1, 2, 3, 4. I've had 4 payments this year. 3 $2,000 and 1 $4,000. So I've had $10,000 in payment. The first bunch of times, I took the payment straight away. But the last time, I took half, which was $1,000 and $1,000 off 2 accounts. And I ended up blowing the bloody thing anyway. So the trouble is, if you withdraw at 3, that leaves you $1,000 left, doesn't it? So, but if you're on one contract, maybe, I don't know, maybe leave 1,000 buffer. Yeah, it'd be nice to get a bit of money for Christmas, wouldn't it? A bit of extra. Okay, I did look at getting in there. It was a small risk, but maybe I should have done. See if we can get a higher low. Okay, maybe a higher low. That'll get us up to this other leg.
Order submitted.
Trouble is, we're getting close to those highs, aren't we?
Order cancelled. Order submitted.
We got one leg up. I do expect to get up another leg, which should get us close to that tops. So see if we can get a higher low there. Maybe trap a few shorts.
Order cancelled.
Okay, I'm not really liking that. It's not working in the channel like I expected. It's just, I'm not even a massive fan of the channel, in all fairness. One leg, 2 leg, maybe. Maybe this is gonna. Not even a fan of this channel. Let's just start from the beginning. Let's get rid of it. So we've got a push up, a couple of legs back, and another push up. It's not very clear, is it? Let's work it from the top, see if that gives me anything better. Okay, that might be okay. Maybe we've got a spike in channel. So leg back, that looks a bit better. Let's make that a different colour, so make it a bit clearer. Okay, so maybe a spike and a channel. Touch. Oh, don't come down, you'll knacker me channel. Push up, you bastard. Go on. Leg, get up. Go on. Okay, leg and leg. If that ends up nice and bullish, I might wait for a higher low. So touch. Does look like a leg and a leg. Trader sync going. All right, mate. Not too bad at all. What have I got in there at the moment? Some from yesterday. I think I've got about 4 or 5. In fact, no, I scrubbed it all last night. I couldn't figure out, for some reason, it's a bit tricky to use. It split the days up for some reason. I plan to watch another video later and to start again, but I can go back and pick me trades. But you can put them manually for some reason. It's not seemed to be deducting my commissions for some reason, but it's a bit tricky to use. But so this is looking positive. We can get a higher low here. I like that. Touch. Working quite nice. Leg back. Oh, I had a feeling. I'm not a fan of that. Because you just don't know. It's just a little bit unpredictable. It is a bit sideways and a bit up, isn't it? So I think the sensible thing to do is to wait for a higher low. Drop down below there. Come on, come down, you bastard. Trouble if that channel's wrong, it's just going to make whatever I do useless. Okay, if this goes up nice and bullish, so try to go once, twice, possible failure. Okay, maybe if that triggers. We're still holding at the moment. If that can push up above there, then we may get that push up. But the trouble is, if that's not right, which in all fairness, I don't think it is. We've had a leg up, we've had a break, and we've had a couple of pushes. It could be coming down now. Yeah, it could be coming down. So, yeah, if you can't figure out a channel, then there's no point in using one. Okay, I'm just going to take a quick 1 minute break. I'm just going to take a quick bathroom break. I'll be back in a sec. Okay, let's have a look. Yeah, okay. We're coming down at the moment. Yeah, okay. Dean, I took 3 shorts on that last channel. You have that one there. There. Would I have taken any? Let's have a look. Trouble is, we got leg, we push up. That's only 1 entry, isn't it? I'd probably taken some longs. I was that focused on going up, wasn't I? Sometimes, I don't know, it's a bit just all over the place today, isn't it? It's not very clear, in all fairness. So sometimes, I do feel sometimes I'm in tune with the market and I really know what's going on. And other days, I seem to just get things. See, I'm convinced there's an uptrend there when all we've got really is a channel up, 2 legs of correction and another attempt. And then it came back and had another go. And it's just, we'll see the market differently. Yeah, you're probably right, mate. The trouble is, this could be 1 leg, 2 leg back, and another push up. It's just not as clear today as it sometimes it's not very clear. But if you look at this, in all fairness, it's really messy, isn't it? Let's see if I can clear this up a bit. It's really messy. It's choppy, choppy, choppy. It's down a bit choppy. All this is choppy, choppy here. This is the only sort of fluent movement we had. Then chop again, chop again. Yeah, it's not very clear. It's not a particularly nice day today. Trouble is, how long is it going to come down for? Yes, I do, mate. Good point, Dean. Good point. Too far ahead. Yeah, sometimes I do that. Sometimes I get too focused on the bigger picture, and I have different days. I have some days where I just can read the market really well. And then other days, but it's very random today. We pushed up, we had a break and a new high. We had 2 legs back, and you think straight away, okay, another leg, and it went up and then just turned. That's why I kind of held there, because we had this break up and then we had 2 lovely legs back, relatively nice bullish bar, and it just pushed up nice and strong, and all of a sudden, wham, came straight back down. Do you know the ironic thing is, that's where I originally had my my stop, and that would have been safe. It's ironic, isn't it? Sometimes where you initially take that trade, sometimes that's the place that's the safest, but because it goes sideways, you bring it up, and I got out for break even when effectively, as it pushed up that second time, you see what I mean? If it's random with no bias, then you stay out. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, so at the moment it's pushing down. It's done it 3 times. Okay, so market's got other ideas now. Yeah, I usually do stay out. I ended up back where I was anyway in the end, but that one I got out for break even, so I didn't even bother marking it. Great uptrend in play. Well, this is what I had initially, but I can't see it's an uptrend. Not anymore. Let's have a look. I got the 4,000 tick chart above me. Let's see if that's any different. Bloody hell, look at that. Actually, it could be. It's hard to say, really. It's hard to say. Yeah, see, I've got the 4,000 tick chart. The trouble is, you've gone from here to here. It's still a bit vague, isn't it? I mean, you can make anything fit in a channel if you want to. You try hard enough. Yeah, it's just not very clear. It is slowly moving up, but then it's coming down and going choppy. So it's just one of those days today. Sometimes we get days like this. Well, fortunately, I'm down just commission, so $15. So max mid morning yesterday, and ended up being correct. Yeah, I noticed it. Do you remember yesterday I brought that channel? It had that weird channel. It looked like a range with a slight tilt on it. He kept that throughout the day. I thought he might have made a mistake, but that's the strangest channel I've ever seen Mac make, in all fairness. Okay, so we're coming down. We've had a break. Now, got to be careful not to get trapped going along here, because although it comes down and goes up, comes down, goes up, comes down, goes up, for me, that's a channel, and I'd expect it to come down and make a new low. But I'm just staying out. Yeah, so if you do it like that on the 4,000 tick chart, from there it fits. But same again, it's only really touched it twice, so it doesn't really confirm anything. Excuse me a sec. Okay, so higher low there, triggered. Are we going to come down and make a new low? I would say so. But we are still seem to be licking up. Second entry short possible. There's nothing you can do at the moment. It's just not very clear. Let's have a look. Kev, I brought 425 K vars last night sent. I'm really struggled to pass them. Already blown through them. Might go back to 50s. Yeah. They're supposed to be easy to pass. It depends. The trouble is, the one issue I have with these cheap evals, don't get me wrong, I don't want to spend a lot of money in them, but the one issue I have, it does make you trade them a little bit carelessly. I don't know if it's just me, but 90% off if you're paying $15 for an evaluation and you lose a trade or two, it's very easy to think, okay, I'll double up or I'll just go with 5. If you go with 10 contracts, every tick gives you $125. And it's just so tempting to do that. So that's the one sort of frustrating thing with cheap evaluations. But this is a second entry long here. I kind of like this.
Order submitted.
Because on the no, let's just stay out this. It's all right. On the 4,000 tick chart, it looks really nice there. Let's just sit tight. Yeah, you're right. I don't know that there is a range, actually. It's just a channel with a break. Not at the moment. We've got a channel with a break, and I'd say we're going to get a new low. It's just very choppy, that's all. It's unpredictable. It's up, down, so it's just difficult to trade, really, in all fairness, and probably a useful time to take a break. So let's do it back in 5. I'm going to make myself a quick cup of tea. Probably rock it up now. Make myself a quick cup of tea. Relax a little bit, and I'll be back in 3 to 5 minutes. I like that.
Order filled.
And we've got a leg down. We had a break. 2 attempts to go lower. Push up strongly above the EMA. That looks like a really bullish bar on the 4,000 tick chart. 2 attempts to go higher. Push up stronger. That's like a penguin trade. You know what? I'll tell you why I've looked at it, shall I? Yeah, I'm going to have to finish today, I think. I'm looking at the 4,000 tick chart, and that's what I've seen there. 1-2 legs down, and that one. It looks like a 1-2 triple test. Nice solid bullish bar, possible short trap, and that's why I took it. Yeah, I'm definitely trading a bit carelessly. I'm just going to give that 1 extra tick. Sometimes it helps. You think so? I'm not so sure. I'm just looking what it was on the 4,000 tick chart. I'm going to get out of here, I think.
Target filled.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it. I got a couple of ticks out of it, I think. I'm just trading a bit carelessly here. I shouldn't be taking that, really. Yeah, it looks like it on the 4,000, but it's still choppy. So I got a tick out of it anyway. So that covered me. What's it actually? You draw a bigger trend. So it swings the bottom. It looks legit. Yeah, it does on the 4,000 tick chart. That's for certain. That's why I took it. But Yeah, it does actually, doesn't it? It does.
Order
Maybe I
submitted.
get back into it on a limit order.
Order filled.
Second entry long, it's working up there. It looks right on the 10,000 tick, sorry, the 4,000 tick chart as well. I'm still not a massive fan.
Target filled.
No, I'm still not a massive fan. Okay, so I got 2 ticks there, another tick. So I'm up a little bit for the day. I'm up $50 for the day, taking out fees, but it's just I'm playing carelessly. It's got to be something to do with going down to one contract. Excuse me a second. Sorry about that. Don't like the doji lined up. Yeah, I mean, it does look like we've had a break of that, made 1, 2, 3 attempts to go lower. For me, it's pushing up. Perhaps I should have held on, but if I'm not sure, then the sensible thing to do, I'm not worthy of taking the trade if I don't really know what's going on. And just to jump in because of this, it's not the way I should be trading, really. Yeah, maybe. It clearly worked, but we got these highs here, haven't we, that we're struggling to get above. So, okay, so first trade I got so I basically got 3/4 of a point. I took it once, got out, then took it on a limit order. Do you go back and write the pros and cons of each trade? I don't, mate, to be fair, because I don't usually take that many. I usually know what I've done right and wrong, you know, during the trading session. Yeah. Yeah, perhaps I should. Because I only sort of take, on average, 1 to 3 trades a day, usually. Oh, look at it now, look. It's sod's law, isn't it? It's sod's law. List of pros and cons. Yeah, perhaps it's something I should do, Sam. So, okay, so I got in there and that went up for what? Even if you'd have taken 6 points out of it. So what I'm doing is I'm coming out when I shouldn't and holding. So that trade there clearly worked. That trade there clearly worked. That trade there clearly worked. Every trade I've taken by the one has worked. That worked. That one I got out for break even when it started to come back, but it worked. Okay, so it came back, but it never came down to my stop. That one worked. So every trade I've taken, apart from one, has worked. Yeah. See, that one I liked. We've got a leg up, 2 legs back. But I just need to be a little bit more cautious. It's a new experience coming down to one contract, and because the risk is less, ordinarily, you know, if Mac marks them as slightly more aggressive trades, I don't generally take those, but I do feel I'm taking more aggressive trades now. So you could say that's 1, 2, 3, a triple test, and it's clearly working along there, and it clearly worked. I got out the first time when I'd drawn a bigger channel. I got back in on a limit order, but then I thought, do I really know what's going on here? Now it's making sense, but at the time, what do you do? I'll tell you what though, Sam. Apple Sam, I'm talking to now. Good quality setups. I'm yet to see one fail. And when I say a good quality one, I mean a really clear one. I'm yet to see one fail. I really am. But I know now I'm going for one. When I'm going for one contract, I'm going for more of a movement, because if you get if you understand what's going on. So for me, we had a leg up there and we had 2 legs of correction. I got into that trade, went up for about 6 points. Now, I held thinking we were going to get a pullback, maybe to here, and then continue on up. And in a lot of cases, we would. And there's a potential 18 points, I think was there? Something like that. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. Yeah, possible 18 points up here. And if you can get even 3/4 of that once a week, you've made a week's worth of money. And I just think it's worth holding on a bit. With that one, I did hold on, but luckily I got out for break even, so it didn't affect me. Yeah, there was the difference with the $300 drawdown, but that made me 275. So, excuse me, that got the drawdown back all bar a quarter of a point, which is, all bar $25. So, yeah, it's one of those things. But this is a new experience trading one contract. I've only ever traded 2. So just with that lack of risk there, it's like anything. I mean, if you're going into let's say you're a trader and you have a bunch of money. You have $1,000. If you're risking, say, $200, you're going to probably take your time a bit more. If you risk $20, it's only natural. As the risk lowers, so does your caution to take a trade. I know it shouldn't work that way, but it naturally does. We're human beings. If you're risking a lot, your stress is going to be up. If you're risking less, your stress is going to be down. So it stands to reason you will probably take a trade risking $100 that you may not take a trade risking $200. It shouldn't be what it is, but it's just the nature of the human beings. As those risks decrease, so does your ability to take a cautious trade. Okay, push up, one leg back. There is a higher low stroke second entry long, but it's a bit far from the EMA. I always like it when they test the top, but I left it. It was a small bar, I think, or was it? I don't know. Yeah, but it did push up. What was that? So from top to bottom, a tick, it was 1.75 points, which is quite a small risk actually, and you clearly got 1-to-1, but it could trigger you and come back and bounce off the top, so I left it. But I think I just need to just relax a bit more and just slow things down, wait for a good setup, and then let them run. Because when I first started streaming, I let my trades run, and I seemed to have a lot better average win. Even that one, once it does that sideways bit like that, you think, okay, another leg, and we've got the tops up here, so maybe you get 3/4 of the way up there, in which case there'd have been 6 points. If you just do that once a day on one contract, that's $300 a day, so it's just waiting for a good setup. Now, obviously, you can't always do that. Red bars after the push-up, kind of scary, yeah. Well, I'm up $50 today, so at least I'm sort of out. I'm up rather than down. I've been a little bit jumpy with the trades, but that trade there clearly worked. It was 2 legs after this. That I was just waiting for that extra push up after this pullback, and it was quite a nice bar. You could say it was 1, 2, 3, a triple test. You were going to trap that long. I like the way it turned straight away. So that for me was okay, and it worked. That one, I was slightly different. I saw 3 attempts to go lower after we've had that break. But obviously I had a fair idea that there was a bigger channel, but I had it here and it just didn't fit. But obviously it's working now, so that trade obviously then turned out to be okay. Well, I got out for it I got in, and then again on a limit order I got out for 3/4 of a point. So it's about learning, isn't it? Okay, we're getting close to the tops now, so Just going to have to sit tight. So what am I up? A point, is that right? Yeah. See, it depends how you look at this. There is the possibility of, get rid of this, a leg, and then a leg. We need to get out the top first. I mean, at the end of the day, I've got this as a range, but in all fairness, we've only really, it's more or less where we open, so it's not necessarily a range. There's probably going to be a little bit of maybe support there, just because we're at the highs of the day, but that's our first leg, I'd say. We've pushed up. Let's see what happens here. Possible second entry long. Still enough room for the highs. Maybe a second entry long if we can get one off this again, or the top. Like another bar next to that, maybe a little bit lower. A lot of the times now I don't take that first one, I always go for the higher low, but if it looks right and it's above the EMA, then generally I'll take it. But I like the way we've gone sideways in here. We've pushed above there and bounced off the EMA, we've pushed above. Maybe retesting these tops. But yeah, I think Wood said it right. When it pushes 4 points, just drop your stop in. You've guaranteed 4 points there, and if it does go higher, happy days. But I am a fan of more of a swing trade in it a little bit now. That one I got into there, eventually, if you'd have kept your stop there, it would have went up, and it would have went up here, and that one there, and that one there. Obviously only generally works when it is in a trend. Well, it's certainly easier anyway when it's in a trend. Okay, hidden second entry long. Do I want to wait for the higher low? Although that's a hidden second entry long, I hate it when it sits like that. I much prefer it to drop lower. I just don't like the look of that for some reason. Yeah, I think it makes sense to just stick to one PA account. Keep your contract size sensible and concentrating on builds. If you can't build an account on one, how you expect to build on multiple accounts? All you're going to do is throw them away, which is exactly what I've been doing. I can build accounts, but you're risking too much. You take 2 losses, and that really hurts. I can deal with $300 losses in a day. Once it gets around the 600 plus mark, it has a different effect on you. So it makes more sense just to build an account. As you're building it, you're growing, you're learning. Okay, so we get a higher low here. I think it's just going to go off without us. Come on, tick below there.
Order submitted.
I'm not a fan of it. It's just choppy, isn't it? It's quite a small risk. No, I'm staying out of it. It's not clear to me.
Order cancelled.
It's choppy. Yeah, it's probably going to go higher, but I'm not a fan of it. It's just a bit too far from the EMA for my liking. It's just choppy and sideways, and I think that's the type of trade that's going to get stopped out. It's all right. I'm just messaging Daryl Martin there. It's just things are changing with these payments again. It's a bloody ball ache. It's simple. Wise is changing things, making things more difficult, not for Apex specifically. Just Wise being Wise. We have a better, faster, cheaper option. Just choose non-Wise international payment. How are you going to pay me there? Right. Okay, so that one did work, just. I still think it was a bit of a, not a fantastic one, but let's have a look. Okay, so we are working in here now. So for me, that was a leg. I still think we're going to make a decent push up now. This is turning into a nice trend, but it is early days. So let's put that there. Let's put that there. This is where I think we're likely to get, but obviously we need to get above here, come back, and then start working then. So I won't be taking a long now until we're above this and maybe come down and retest it just in case, because I don't fancy getting shafted again. I'm up $50, so that's a start and an end if so case. Okay, so bearish bar there, second bearish bar there, double top. Maybe this traps some shorts. So we are at the high of a day now. We're actually at there, or have we broken it? We're at it. So yeah, Wise are messing around the payment method. Wise, so we've got to change it again now to international. God. It's a pain in the arse. I know it's not Apex's fault. It's just a pain in the backside though. Rumba. Right. Guessing there was a few stops above there then. Right, so I think now there's a good chance we're going to make this second leg. Just need you to come back and... So, if I'd have held that, I'd have been up here now. If I'd have held that and held that, I'd have been up here now. I'm also using Wise, and I am from... Are you really? There is a... Well, let me tell you, I just had a message from Daryl Martin. Let me just get it on here a minute. Well, not me personally. Well, yeah. Let me have a look. Okay, let me just drag her in a bit. I put that message on there earlier. It didn't really make much sense. There was a new bit of information on there. It said, attention, Wise is changing the way they set up non-US accounts. Also make it so that any trader or affiliate payment you have received through them in the past will no longer be able to be sent through Wise. We're therefore implementing their new policy before October the 18th, how to mitigate, blah, 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 blah. It just doesn't make sense. They said how to mitigate this. Log into your Apex account as a member's account. Choose the payout method in the menu item. Clear your Wise payment. Click on payout type. Drop down, choose international payments if you cannot see Wise. Well, I'm already in with Wise, so why would it make no difference? It won't. It's just... I'll just put it doesn't make sense, and Darren Martin's put it simple. Wise is changing things, making things more difficult, not Apex specifically, but Wise just being Wise. We have better, faster, cheaper option. Just choose non-Wise international payment in the payout method, and then what do I put my account in, or what do I do then? So I don't know. I know it's a pain in the arse. It's not their fault, I suppose. Overshoot on the spike. Ach, mag dat. Yeah, I think it's quite feasible now. We're in a clear uptrend now, I think. At the moment, it does look like a leg and a leg, so I'd ideally like to retest this top somehow. Just logged in. Yeah, it's a pain. The only bit that frustrates me is if I wouldn't have logged into that, I'd have never known. I don't have any emails from Wise. No, me neither. Apparently, they said if it's an issue, they'll email you. I think Apex said that, but I don't know. So I know it's a pain in the ass. I'll go into it later and have a look later. He said just choose non international, but have you got to put your details in? I don't know. I'll have a go later. It is a pain. Sometimes it's trading stressful enough as it is. You just want the money side of it sorted out, don't you? Well, that's if I get a payment. I get a bit every month on from the affiliates. But obviously, if you want to pay, especially now Christmas is on its way, you want a payment from a trading account. You want to make sure all the payment side of it's taken care of. Okay, leg, retest this top. If we can get something nice and bullish, then it may be interesting going along there. We'll see. Yeah, see, well, Daryl Martin's just told me, he knows I'm UK based. He's just told me, just go in there and change it to. Trouble is, if you do nothing, you don't know whether it's going to work, do you? So I'd rather have the ball late now. Just get mine up. Payout method. Hey. Payout type. International. If you see, it says international. If you cannot use Wise, well, I can use Wise, sir. My good God. The trouble is, I've got my direct deposit routing number, an account number down the bottom through Wise. So what do I do about those? Oh, bollocks! I'm just leaving it. I don't need the headache. Right, leg down. No setup there. I was hoping we'd come down and again closer to the top here. I do think we're pushing up for a second leg. The trouble is, if you jump in here, it could just come down to here, couldn't it? It could go sideways and come to here. There's just nothing there, unfortunately. And sometimes when there's nothing there, quite often it just rockets up. But what can you do? If you jump in here and expect it to go, it'll just turn down on you. Okay, so that one went up for 5.5 points. My understanding is that the Ys will not work for non-US after they change the policy in a couple of days. Might still work at the moment. Yeah, it's... Well, first it was that issue with Deal. Everything was working fine with Deal. The thing is with Deal, you can connect your Revolut account to Deal. So because I was changing currency, if I get the Revolut card, the Revolut Steel card, it cost me about, it cost me $12, well, £12.99 a month. I get unlimited exchange rate free of charge. So it was great. So I'm now lumbered with a £12.99 bill a month for Revolut, which I'm not using now because it's gone through Wise. So it's just a ball ache. But what can you do? I'll have a look after. I'll go through it. It's just not very clear. They've just not made it clear for some reason. It's just, it doesn't make sense when you read it. Might. So, but he said we've got another option, okay, but it says click international, okay, so what about down the bottom when it's, you've got to put some payment details in. If you're not choosing Wise and you're doing international, what happens when it, yeah, I kind of like that. That's the type of trade that will work higher. We're close to the highs, see, so can't all good conscience take it. Trouble is, if you get rid of that, does it? It is working there. It is close to the highs, but I'm going to take
Order
it
submitted.
because there is a lot of distance it can go.
Order filled.
It's working up that line. Touch there, touch. I'm just going to go for a couple of points, I think. 250. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's just go for a couple of points. It's working along that line. I don't like it. I'm going to get out. I don't like it. Oh.
Target filled.
Okay. I don't like it. Out for break even. My trading is just not good today. I'm just not in a great place today. Let's put that back. Yeah. It's pushing up strong, you know. Look, I've just got this measured move up here, so if I would have taken it, look, I would have, held in. Where did I go there? So I went for 2 points, it would have worked again. So most of the trades I've taken today would have worked. Maybe there's a bit of a spike there. There actually was a second entry long. It was a second entry long, and I had that channel a bit tighter. We're still bouncing over it, so perhaps it was okay. Second entry long. And it clearly worked. Maybe a hidden second entry long here.
Order submitted. Order cancelled.
Hidden second entry long, which is triggered. It's not pushing up as strongly as I would have expected. Gonna get rid of that in a minute. Excuse me a sec. Sorry about that. Daughter keeps coming in and pestering me. Okay, leg down. Hopefully another leg down. I'm just going to be 1 minute. Quick bathroom break. Okay. What's going on here? Okay, we're clearly trending upwards. No argument there. One leg up, one leg back, two legs back, second leg up. So I do expect to get up here. It's just what takes us up for the sort of final trip. We got a leg down break. I'm just not a fan of taking these just below that midline because it could potentially come down here before it moves up, and it could trigger you and move down. It's just. But then sometimes you get a second entry long and off it rockets. Okay, second entry long. I'm just not a massive fan because we're in the sort of, there is all this big vacant area which it could come down to, so it could trigger. It may work, but it's. You on about that? Yeah. Okay, it has smashed through it. It'd be nice to sort of bounce off it, but it is a second entry long. The trouble is, if we are clearly in a bigger channel here, isn't it? Don't fall straight. Yeah, we are clearly in a bigger channel, aren't we? And it just concerns me about that. Taking that, it may work, but it also could trigger it and come down here a bit further. It could come bounce off this. So how many times have we hit that line? So, in fact, let's get it right. So we've hit it once, twice, a few times there, close enough there. So as far as I'm concerned, it's working up in that larger channel. So we've got a smaller channel here. That kind of looks okay. We're in a break. I expect a new high, but we could have a leg, a pullback, and a leg, and it could work up from here. That's my only slightly. Yeah, trouble is, you just don't know whether it's going to come here. I know what you mean. And in all fairness, I don't usually take that first one. I usually wait for the higher low, but unfortunately, it didn't give us nothing. See, I pretty much knew where it was going, but it's entry, isn't it? Excuse me a sec. Okay. What's the duplication software that you recommend? 110% Replicanto. I never get problems with Replicanto at all. I got problems with the Apex one regular. So I've got a discount code for you down here, UKFT20, then I'll get you 20% off it. But yeah, absolutely. 100% without a single doubt. I use it myself. I'm not using it currently because I got one account, but I have it. I have it here, Replicanto. Yeah, can't recommend it enough. Anybody else will tell you here, same thing, Replicanto. You're welcome, Eric. Very welcome. Well, I must say, we've had a lot of choppiness. It's pretty messy in parts, isn't it? With the exception of this push up and there. A lot of chop, down a bit, chop, down a bit, chop, down a bit, chop. There's been a lot of chop, hasn't there? Yeah, well, obviously we're clearly working up, but it's just not that clear, is it, at times? There was a second entry long there. I always tend to avoid the first one and wait for the second one because there is always the possibility that it could get down to this this side of the larger channel. Okay, so as it was mentioned, resistance with the date. as Dean mentioned, resistance, yesterday's highs, we've pushed through it, we've come back and we're bouncing off it clearly. So if we can bounce, maybe get a higher leg, we may get that push up we need to complete that measured leg. But we've come down and we've used it as support, resistance there, come back there, sorry, support again, we used it as resistance there. So hopefully if we can bounce off it, then we may get a, be nice to get a couple of legs or maybe a push up and another retest before we can push higher. But I say it sliced through it there, it didn't, it actually closed on it there. Obviously, you can see it's playing a part, can't you? Clearly, yesterday's size. Possibly something like that. Who knows? Maybe give us a higher low. It is frustrating when it just goes if it does, but that's a possibility. Touch, touch, touch. Or there's always a possibility because the channel we're going to break a new high, we could have a leg, and a leg we could come back down to here. I like the way it's using the resistance yesterday, or support yesterday from yesterday's low, highs, sorry. So we've pushed down and we've sort of struggled to break through there. So if we can get a higher low here, it may interest me. But we have got that there's a possibility of a leg and a leg to come down to this side of the channel. So just got to be careful.
Order submitted.
Okay, bounce off this twice, high or low. Let's see what this looks like. Oh, didn't get me.
Order filled.
Okay, we've pushed up through yesterday's resistance, came back and bounced twice on it, pushed up. I like that higher low. Hopefully we can get up a little bit now. This is my last trade of the day. Come what may.
Stop filled.
Okay, that's me done for the day. I'm down $70. I'm just not reading it today. Something's just not working. So that's it for me. I appreciate all the comments. Just it's not working for me today. My patience just isn't very good. So there we go. So I appreciate all the comments, guys. I'll be back same time tomorrow. So have a great evening. Stay safe. And I will see you all tomorrow. Bye for now.